Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Season 2 of Attack on Show.
The Electric Boogaloo season.
We're
it never ends.
No,
it never ends.
It doesn't end. I don't even know what episode we're on. I lost count.
86, maybe 69. No.
It'll be awesome.
It will be.
We've got an excellent episode for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick things off with preview review. We're going to take a look at the new Rambo Last Blood. Very creative title.
That's mine.
Was that English?
That's Rambo.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we're really excited to announce for you guys, we have a special guest on set. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Dylan Sides is on set today. He's the writer, creator of the Revenge of the Mask.
Yeah, he did everything for it.
Yeah.
Producer. He is also does all the special effects stuff.
Yes, the props, the makeup.
Yes.
This man does everything. So you want to stick around for this interview because we got some really cool inside info for you on the Revenge of the Mask movies coming out.
Yeah.
And then we let Dylan pick for Beacon Rewind his favorite movies.
Yes.
And he selected the Back to the Future
Great
trilogy.
choice, actually. And we got a lot of insight from him concerning those
I think
coming
there's
up.
a young generation that's missing out on this great movie, so we're going to reintroduce it to you guys. So stick around for that. And then, like we always do,
last but not least,
I Miss My MTV. We've got an awesome band here, everybody. Plague Vendor on deck with their track New Comedown.
Yes.
This is an awesome track. You're going to stick around for this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Robbie.
And I'm Jay Marsh.
And this is
Attack on Show.
All right, so preview review.
Yeah, no, right?
Stallone is back.
This is kind of a big deal, right? This is the
huge.
end.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I kind of feel like this is. He's not going to last much longer.
No?
Say it. No, I really don't think so.
It's very pessimistic of you.
Maybe.
Before we get started on preview review, ladies and gentlemen, we forgot to mention, make sure you like
and subscribe
and click that bell down below.
Because if you don't click the bell, you're not going to know when we got a new episode coming out.
You're going to miss out. You're going to be sitting on your couch, bored, not knowing what to watch.
You'll be in the theater position crying.
Yeah, it's a typical Tuesday night for Jeff. So,
and
you want to get rolling on
Thursday
preview?
Too.
Yeah. Twice a week now. Yeah, just keep drinking.
Thanks.
Everybody, we're going to take a look at Rambo Last Blood.
I've lived in a world of death.
Wasn't he just like a fisherman in the Congo wanting to be left
alone?
That must have been a nice 401k plan.
Of die. Some fast with a bullet.
I'm fast with a bullet, but not the right one.
What's the? I know she keeps. We need to talk about that.
Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Did they finally recast Logan?
I've kept my secrets. But the time has come to face my past.
Didn't Brian Dennehy die?
Yeah, I don't. This is
And if it comes looking for me, they will welcome death.
How many times can you draw first blood?
Yeah, like you can't. It's only can happen once. Did I just see a lineup of guns? Like, was it? Why am I going for the bow and arrow at that point?
Not as cool as flexing.
I want them to know.
Oh look, Kevin grew up.
It's coming.
Like no one picks up on this. Like there's not the neighbors going, "Hey, by the way."
They can do to stop it.
Well, there you have it. Rambo, Last Blood, till next blood, until the next blood. I don't think Stallone's done after this. Coming soon, obviously theater release.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
I just feel like the continuity in these movies are not lining up.
No, and really, it's incredibly important, I feel like, in these that there's a continuity. Like, all of a sudden now it's like, hey, I'm on my ranch.
It's one thing to recast the son in Rocky, which actually they didn't do. But this just makes no... He was literally hiding out as a fisherman in the Congos. Now he owns a Yellowstone.
Yeah,
and
well put,
knows how to trick ride horses and... Makes no sense. He was never a cowboy.
He was in Afghanistan, and now the Congo, like, oh, hey, old son,
None of
I'm
this
a cowboy.
is lining up. But everybody's a fan for violence, and Stallone obviously can do it really well.
He feeds it well, yeah, absolutely.
So there's Rocky Last Blood. So I think it's time to... I'm done.
I'm smoked at this point.
How about we get Dylan on set? Because I'm
let's
excited to talk.
Dylan, why don't you come on in
Ladies
here?
and gentlemen, this is our special guest featurette. All right, and we are back. We have a special guest with us.
Very special guest.
We've kept it hidden from you.
Even as of now, it's hidden.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to introduce you, Mr. Dylan Sides,
Hey,
everybody.
Dylan.
Hey, Dylan. The writer, executive producer, and editor of the upcoming Revenge of the Mask.
Correct.
And we've been talking a little bit about this movie, so...
I'm correct in that you guys are going to change my voice, so no one...
Yeah, no one...
No.
We're going to do the whole
I can
blurring of the
really
face.
blowing my hot air back in my face.
Yeah.
I love the
So
mask.
Dylan, we love The Mask.
Thank you.
We've had an opportunity to work with Dylan on The Mask, as well as Silent War. And tell us a little bit about what we got going on with The Mask right now.
Oh, God, what can I say? Well, I think it's no secret now, at least, that we're going to be bringing in a lot of characters from the actual comic book this time around.
Yeah.
So,
Can you give a brief explanation of that for those of us that don't know where they're going with The Mask? Like, what is the
Because I think a lot of people
Yeah.
reference the Jim Carrey film,
which
and
is
your
nothing-
angles.
Yeah, completely different.
So our film is a blend between, how do I put it? It is more of an artistic blend between the original comics, which was comics by Mark Richardson, who, of course, is Dark Horse and all those comics and whatnot. And the original Mask comic was originally set as a horror-based comic about basically this mystical artifact that if you put it on, you essentially get superpowers and you go completely insane. Depending on the person who
You're
uses
just missing
the
out
mask.
on the superpowers.
Yeah, just absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when I saw the original film, I loved it as a kid, and I got to work on the sequel when I was even just a tiny bit older. And basically, every iteration that's come out since that first movie has been nothing but kind of watered down versions of that, and I loved what they did with the original, but I've always wanted to see one of these without limits.
Right.
Basically how the character actually is and what the mask actually is. And so me and my friend Kyle had been talking about it for years, about writing different ones. So we've written like 30 different versions.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, foreshadow.
Yeah.
Foreshadow.
Of that of revenge, or other iterations or whatever
Sure.
it would be. And then it took a long time before one day, because I think there was like 5 different versions where he was like a musical artist.
Let's rock this joint!
Eventually Kyle's, no musicals, we're done with the musicals.
Okay.
And then I'm like, if you're going to throw out another idea, it has to be something that is completely dark. And I'm like, all right. So I sat and thought about it for 2 years. And then one morning I was like, what about gangsters? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, what if this isn't about a person seeking revenge because they're a good person who was wronged? What if this is a story of a man who thinks he's the hero but is actually the villain?
Oh, wow.
And
Excellent.
tell a story of somebody who's actually a psychopath already, and they don't even realize
Right.
it. And they put on the mask and kind of become who they really are. And that the gangsters, the people he owes money to, are actually just people. They're not good people, but
They're
they
not
all
crazy
deserve
like this.
to
Yes.
be horribly murdered. Probably not. And
And that, kids, is the last movie in a really condensed shell. That was literally, that was fantastic.
Well, it's a great
Well
touch
done.
because obviously you get a lot of movies and shows, especially in the recent decade. The anti-hero establishment really took off. It used to be really black and white, and then you had shows like The Shield. I'll do another plug, but the anti-hero's really grown since, and I think this kind of it gets into that trend where it's more realistic that way. Everybody
Yes,
has
it
their
is.
skeletons, and this is a character where like you say, he's not a great person. Is he really an evil person? I don't think so in every day, but the mask, obviously kind of pulls out some of those skeletons.
yes, and I really just wanted to make a story about terrible people, essentially. I
All the
don't
way
think-
around.
You
Everyone
should
in
do a
it.
biography.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single, maybe his wife, but there isn't really a single redeemable character.
Yeah, there is. The little girl at the end.
Yet to be determined.
Oh, God, I love that stuff. God, I love it.
So the next movie over was never going to be the thing at the end. I don't think it's any secret at this point, but the thing at the end of the original movie was a nod to The Hunt for Green October, which is one of the most infamous storylines in the comic book, which is a little girl finds the mask and her father ends up donning it for a little bit, but eventually it goes to her and she becomes one of the most ruthless killers in the comic series.
Like
Fantastic.
For a very short period of time.
But yes.
But yes, and she's horrified when it gets off her face.
So we're at 31 million views on the Revenge of the Mask that you guys released, which is amazing on YouTube. That you guys are shooting out for 150,000 subscribers, so we're going to get you 7 more after this episode airs.
Guaranteed 7 more subscribers. We can always guarantee 7.
But the first one is massive success. I mean, it's amazing watching how quick it's growing. Obviously, kind of opened the door, and I don't know how much you want to talk about where you guys are going forward. But obviously, we've got a part 2 coming out. And I don't know how much details you want to give away or what this storyline is about. Anything you care to share about what people can expect out of it?
So at the end of the original, we know that Alan killed over 200 people in a single night because he was basically cleaning up his mess. He knew that if anyone survived, they would eventually find him and come after his wife. Because they all know him. They know his name.
Right.
So selfishly or unselfishly, I guess as the people of Edge City in this version come to realize, is that he inadvertently cleaned up all the crime in the city in a single night. So no matter how selfish it may have been, it does have an impact.
Right.
So people see him as a monster, and a lot of them actually see him as like some kind of hero. But there is, and I can't go too far into consequences to his actions that kind of
tell this story. That's the culmination and what the result of the story.
And so essentially this movie's main purpose is to introduce these characters that are going to move towards a bigger story. And so I wouldn't say this is like the John Wick 2 of the series where it's just kind of a lot of exposition.
Why not? Why not?
We do not.
It seemed to do okay at the movies.
We don't talk down about John Wick.
Never, never.
But
You'll find out.
I actually love that movie. But its main purpose is to set up everything else. But I think it's going to very properly introduce Walter and Kellaway and all these other characters that introduce, and then have them introduced in such a way that it makes sense with our canon.
Nice. Now, are we safe, because the promo ads are out, safe to say on here who is playing Walter?
Yes, Mr. Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones.
Thank you, Nathan. You've been a phenomenal supporter of us, and we really appreciate it.
Dude was like up here when we talked to him. We are working on it behind the scenes, by the way, on this, where we did get an interview with Nathan Jones, so keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely.
I have an idea. Why don't you arm wrestle him? And if you win, he'll come on set.
Yeah, no, I don't
No,
think that's
Rob, you're at the gym all the time. I think it's a great idea. Let's do that.
Such a good idea.
Yeah, why not?
So a fantastic look with these Revenge of the Mask, because obviously, when we're out talking about it with people or they're watching this, the questions we're getting is, the lighthearted look. I got to say, the vision that you and Lance have on these movies, watching you guys, that we got to be on set for part 2, filming behind the scenes, and we were there for 2 overnights, and I, just standing there was just amazed watching you guys work. I totally
the part where we bitch at each other until something happens.
That was the other movie.
It was the other movie.
But it was great to watch your guys' vision, and Estevan, the way you 3 work, even when you're disagreeing, but the end product. Watching, I just stood behind Estevan like most of the night because I loved watching through the viewfinder and the angles. I love Lance's look with the shallow depth of field and the way that he plays with that, and then your vision and direction, because you kind of keep in line like, hey, it's supposed to look like this, and then Estevan's just got that eye. But your guys, the way you guys gel together, the end product that comes out of that, it's amazing to watch it come through.
I was actually there for the cars blowing up in the blood, but I mean,
Lance is a very particular director, and he's brilliant. He knows exactly what to do to get the right performances out of actors. And
Push-ups.
Yeah, lots of push-ups. Sometimes, yes.
Sweet-ass wigs.
And basically, Istvan is so particular about his compositions, his shots, his lighting, and it makes an amazing cinematographer.
Yes. I tell you, the behind the scenes, the little bit that we've seen, honestly, the editing of this is coming together. I'm super psyched for it. Like, I do feel this one's just going to blow away the first one. I'm completely confident that this
agree.
one,
And
especially Goon 1 and 2.
so much
Goon 1 and 2 may be the greatest
put it
Goon
over
1.
the
Yes,
top.
I'm just saying,
It's going to be, what, 31 million and 7 views.
It's going to be really, really, really hard to top for next year. But no, I'm really happy where this one is going, and I'm so excited just by what we got with this and how we're going to move forward with Rise of the Mask and everything else. So, it's the journey's not over after this month, but for Revenge, it'll be over for quite a while. And I can't say who, but we're retiring a few characters, so it's gonna be nice to have the wrap parties and everything else. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome. Super excited. Definitely keep an eye out for Revenge of the Mask 2. We're obviously going to keep you posted on all the juicy details.
Yeah, absolutely. All our followers, make sure you go and check it out.
Yes,
you're
the
checking
link
out
to
their
Revenge
page.
of the Mask is below. If you're not one of the 31 million so far that have watched it, definitely click and check it out.
31,000,007.
Make sure you put in the comments, Attack on Show sent us here.
Please.
So they know both of you are from us. And after this, I think we're ready to move on to some Be Kind.
No, I think we're ready to move back.
Move back?
Yeah.
To Be Kind Rewind?
To Be Kind Rewind.
All right. We are back for Be Kind Rewind. The movie I think that ruined 2015 for everybody. We're going to take a look at the Back to the Future trilogy. So I think there's a few out there that haven't seen it. Actually, I think the generation, as they're changing, I think there's a younger generation that actually have not seen these movies.
I don't know. I have actually literally forced my kids to watch this
yes,
movie.
you force your kids to do a lot, though.
I do. That's the only way the grass cuts and my business works.
It would be mandated in my house that every year on October 21st, 2015, we have to watch the second film, McPlease.
So the outfit inspired here, we're taking a look at the entire trilogy of Back to the Future.
Absolutely.
I think this is actually one long movie. So Back to the Future, it came out, was it 1985?
No, it was 1984.
84.
Wow, what a year. I mean, really, what a year.
Robert Zemeckis directed. So why did these movies stick out to you? I mean, obviously, a huge fan.
Oh, yeah, massive. Well, it was revolutionary in many ways. Namely, it not just because of Lucasfilm put ILM on the map.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen a film that so perfectly, you take characters that grow over time and regress, and you have something that jumps around in time. And Robert Zemeckis' portrayal of teenagers back in the 1980s, it stuck with me for some reason. Just the car, the look of it, the coolness factor to it, And then when you really strip away all of the story, it's really kind of. It's not a family story by any means, but
it's really not. When you
it's super screwed up.
It looks that way, but it's way screwed up. I've always felt that
incest.
way.
John Mulaney did an insanely hilarious stand-up where he pointed out, I want to be the producer that had to sit there and listen to the writer as he was pitching this movie to me.
You know what we're thinking right now, don't you? Yeah.
It's just, it's this movie about this guy named Marty McFly, who is this, kid in high school, and he's always late for stuff. And, he's friends with a disgraced nuclear physicist. Best friends, in fact.
Best friends. He likes to hang out there at night.
How old is this guy? He's like 20 years old? No, he's somewhere between 40 and 80.
They had a hard time pitching at the studios.
They went through about 42 different iterations.
Yeah, Disney shot it down because they didn't like. Other studios were saying it wasn't sexy enough. They went to Disney. Disney saying no way with this incest storyline.
And the actual time machine kept changing constantly.
It was a
as
fridge.
to what it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be a fridge at one
that would
point.
have been
The
horrible.
original storyline was that it was a fridge that ended up in the middle of a nuclear power plant, and then they blew it up, and then basically ended up back in the 1950s.
Which a lot of people think Indiana Jones.
I think I was going there. Yeah.
Well, Spielberg's attached to both. They think that was like a throwback, a tribute to Back to the Future. Of
I could see
throwing
that.
in
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
So basically, during the end of that production, and poor Michael J. Fox, for him, he doesn't really remember making the first movie.
Oh, because he was doing Family Ties at the same time.
Exactly the same time. Wow. While filming, he would shoot most of the day
For Family
Ties, or at night, fly over a 2-hour flight, and shoot Back to the Future, shoot for a day, come home, fly, and
wow.
It was miserable for him.
Who originally, though, was supposed to be Eric Stoltz. And they actually had a lot of the movie filmed already with him.
Yeah, because if you look online, 92%. I never realized that much of the film.
It's kind of been debated, right?
It's been confirmed by both Eric Stoltz, Michael J. Fox, and Bob Gale, and the guy who played Biff.
Thomas Wilson was the best bully
of all film history. Absolutely, yes.
And Thomas Wilson let it go that he thinks there's actually still some of Eric Stoltz footage in Back to the Future.
A punch?
That is Eric Stoltz's fist.
Oh,
like some of the behind-the-scenes shots.
Absolutely, yeah. Why burn the film? Right.
Well, there was a lot of scenes Michael J. Fox had to film alone. Like the production behind the movie was
Or it could have just been that it was a better shot than what they reshot.
Yeah.
It happens. So
what was the reasoning for that? Why did they...
Eric Stoltz, above all else, it was just dark.
He was too serious.
It was a light tone script. And Eric wanted darker clothing. He wanted basically everything to be a little bit more understanding. It was still funny.
Sure.
But it just wasn't what the studio wanted. It wasn't what Robert Zemeckis wanted. He was pissing everyone off. He kept trying to get with Leah Thompson. Who won
at that time? Come on.
What's wrong with Michael J. Fox? Why didn't he?
Not even because he liked her, but because it was a part of his character. Like, he's that much of a method actor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It got to the point, too, where he was harassing Thomas Wilson because, like, the scene where they had a scene where I think it was they're pushing each other back and forth in the cafeteria. And then basically, I guess, a couple of takes, Eric had really started, like, punching him in the chest. And he basically said, dude, I'm a nice guy, but you do this one more time, I'm going to actually punch you in the face.
I'm really going to become Biff.
And then Eric said, do it. And then he's just like, he realized how crazy this guy was. And
that's incredible to change it with 92% of the film filmed that you go, you know what? Nah.
But there was a lot of last-minute casting bullshit with that movie.
Well, the girlfriend, that wasn't originally...
That wasn't her
three
choice.
Times
she was cast 3 times.
There was a different girl with Eric Stoltz, so because they got rid of him...
And then they went back to Elizabeth Shue.
With a horrible wig.
Oh. Yeah. And so it was hilarious how back and forth that went. And then, of course, you have the whole debacle moving on to the second films.
I love part 2 when you go back and watch the visual effects because at the time it was groundbreaking. I think now it's a little fun to watch because you can catch the cloning, how there's a line, when Doc goes to hand the tool to younger Doc or older Doc, the hand goes behind the pole and that's the split in the car because it was the mirroring effect, the cloning effect back then was very hard to do. And
technology that was invented because Back to the Future.
And Back to the Future, was an early groundbreaking film that did start inventing the technology. One highlight I like to always talk about when it comes to Back to the Future 2 is it set the standard for all time travel for movies going forward. Because everybody, whenever you talk time travel, immediately starts drawing the chalkboard line.
Prior to this point in time, somewhere in the past, the timeline skewed into this tangent, creating an alternate 1985.
So, and then there's part 3 that I don't know if that rates high on everyone's scale. I think a lot of people looked at it as like 3 as a letdown, and I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think 2 was that good.
I don't think it was a letdown. It was just it suffered from a lot because they were shooting them simultaneously. I think having it repeat itself 3 times in a row was a little much because you have the second movie that literally completely recreates the scene where he's driving on the skateboard, but you replace the skateboard with the hoverboard. And
which we're still waiting for.
Even Biff is sitting there going, there's something all familiar about all this. And, then you have exactly the same thing happen with the horse thing in the beginning of the third movie when he's being dragged down the street, almost gets hung at the clock tower.
Yeah. Which passed out filming that scene. Did you hear about that?
He did.
He literally had them hang him for some of the close-up shots. They had him on a box, and then they had him actually hang himself, and he passed out. They thought he was acting.
Yeah, they did. But I like the role reversal because in that movie, I think it was when Doc finally came into his own, and because through most of the movies, it's been focused on Marty and his journey. And then you finally have Doc
telling his story,
get a relationship.
He
has a love interest.
He's got the love interest. He's the starry-eyed one. He doesn't have to deal with the whole time travel thing. It's really Marty trying to break him out of the situation.
Sure.
He's the one stuck in the past.
Yep.
Right.
And
Who's actually okay being there, right? I mean, it seems like
he
when
was
you find
okay
him,
with it. He just didn't know he was going to die 3 days after he wrote that letter.
Yeah.
You know, he just got himself into a bad situation. I think that it would have done well if they maybe would have used a different villain or whatever. I think it's just too much.
Yeah. Well, I think we can all agree. If you've not seen the Back to the Future trilogy, if it's been a while since you've seen the trilogy,
like 5 minutes.
Definitely worth going back, rewinding the tapes, popping it in, watching it on your old VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. They're actually selling
digital download
relatively cheap on Blu-ray. Even they get the trilogy sets now. So definitely go back and check out Back to the Future. And Dylan, I gotta thank you for coming by.
Thanks you so much
here.
tonight, Dylan.
It's been awesome having you. A lot of knowledge
Anytime.
we get here. Obviously, as a guest, you get your collector's Attack on Show glass.
I am so happy because I'm the only one of my friends that don't have this.
We're running through
the whole crew.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's yours. We'll get you a clean one.
Yes.
But appreciate you coming by, and I think it's time for some music. So you ready for some I Miss My MTV?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dylan.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Awesome. A lot of
Appreciate
inside
you coming
info.
out tonight.
A lot of fun. Man knows his Back to the Future.
Does he not?
Yeah. I
Wow.
actually think he might be able to assist you in traveling through time. I think
He
he's
will
got enough knowledge.
definitely be able to assist me in traveling through time. Yes.
Dylan Sides everybody. And again, stay tuned because we are going to keep you guys up to date on Revenge of the Mask 2. Not only because Goon 1 and Goon 2 are going to be amazing,
but we're going to be piggybacking the out of that.
Yeah. So you're going to stick around. Honestly, I have seen a rough cut of like the first 10 minutes of the movie. Awesome. Lance Kawaz, your vision and the coloring and the way that this film is put together
Lance.
looks amazing. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah.
So with that said, we're at the end of the night. We've had a lot of fun. We got to wrap things up with I Miss My MTV. We got a wicked track here from Plague Vendor.
Plague.
Plague or Plague?
Plague.
Yeah, we'll take it. This is an awesome track called New Comedown. This is a great rock artist. Guys, you're going to love this track.
I love the video as well.
Yeah, this video is wicked. So check it out. Awesome.
Yes,
you like it?
Vendor,
welcome. Another winner?
I can guarantee you 2 things out of this. One, we're going to probably attribute nothing to your views, and within a year's time span or not, you're going to be on Alt Nation.
I'd say
so
3
congratulations.
months. They're really following us, Alt
That's
Nation.
true.
I think 3 months. You guys are going to see Plague Vendor on Alt Nation. That is off the album By Night, which is out now. It's on all streaming, Google Music, iTunes. Just kidding. iTunes is gone. So definitely check them out. These guys have a wicked sound. I love the rawness of it. The vocals are cool. The band, the music style of it, awesome. Just total
and it's kind of right up our alley.
Yeah,
this is what we do.
Love
this. Is absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping up this episode.
We
Again,
are.
If you haven't clicked subscribe or like or
the little bell,
do it now.
Right now.
Do it now. That's my Arnold. Yeah, we had Stallone. You got to tie Arnold.
Yeah, no.
Everybody, thank you for checking us out. Make sure you tell your friends. Don't keep this entertainment to yourselves.
Absolutely.
No. And as always, I'm Rob E.
And I'm Jay Marsh.
And this is
Attack on Show.